starting five, the Fab Five, whatever you want to call us, all right, back to preview the conference finals. Gonna do a little bit, not too much post-mortem on Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Utah, because we keeping it positive. If you've been in 94 Feet of Life, the Facebook group, we've been trying to real have positive vibes only, like the Instagram chicks say, positive vibes only. So we got Trav, we got Ham, MJ, German's in the building. Fellas, let's kind of work our way backwards to the present. And let's actually start with Utah and the Clippers in one of the wilder games, I think, of the playoffs on Friday night. The Clippers, without Kawhi, eliminate Utah in 6. The game, J-Ham, and I'm going to go right to you. It will go down right there with the Sleepy Floyd game, right there with some all-time great cult hero games. Terrence Mann, 25 points in the series leading up to it, goes for 39 in the closeout. Talk about it, Jan. One of the wilder games of this playoff.
And the cool part about it is like Terrence Mann is fitting like right into the theme of the whole playoffs for me. I'm rooting for the shit that ain't supposed to happen in general. He gave us 2 of these because he gave us one of these with Dallas too in the Dallas series. Then you got this one the other night to get them into a round that we've never seen the Clippers get to this round before, y'all, and we are here. And we don't know if we're getting clawed back. We don't know what the situation gonna be, but we'll tell you this: if Game 1 was any indication of what's in store for the Knicks, however many they go with this, sign your boy up for that, Chief. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about that game more here shortly because that was all kinds of fun on Sunday. But I want to go over to MJ, and I'm going to let MJ toot his own horn a little bit. For those of y'all who follow 94 Feet of Life, there's a post. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers win 4 straight games. MJ, take it away.
I only need 20 seconds. I'm going to be very quick with this. When you have a team that is predicated on playing a perfect style of game on offense to be able to generate the perfect shot that they're looking for, you're always going to struggle against a team who can be able to improvise and create on the fly when things don't go their way. That's the difference between the regular season and the playoffs. Regular season teams, they can execute their stuff because you don't have time to lock in and take away things you want to take away. The playoff teams, usually they drag through the regular season because they just don't have the energy to want to have to create all the time on the fly like that. But once they zero in and get the information they need, you see what you get. And Paul George and Kawhi Leonard were guys that can create on the fly when things break down. And most importantly, shout out to Ty Lue, who is proven to have not only a system that works, but have a coaching staff that works, and also have a farm system in which he is developing everybody 1 through 12. That is what's going to win you the playoff games, 1 through 12. Role players win, not superstars.
MJ, you talk about that Ty Lue. I think what he did coaching wise in Game 6, that adjustment when they're putting Terrence Mann in that corner, and they said, okay, rather than go away from Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, we're gonna go at it.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Rudy out there in no man's land. He didn't know whether to go challenge the ball. He didn't know whether to show on the screen. He didn't know whether to go to the corner. They just put him in the proverbial trick bag. So shout out Tyronn Lue. Yes, wonderful coaching adjustment. Trav, let's go up top to you. I want to go to Trav and I want to go to Jern. Because now we got to roll into Saturday night. One of the, I don't like to compare basketball to war because war is serious.
Yeah.
This was intense, physical. I was tired watching. And I'm just at the couch. Now I'm just at the couch chilling. We talking about Game 7. Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Trav, and go to you and go to Jern. the Bucks, despite awful shooting nights from Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, the star, find a way. Talk to us.
Physical. Y'all really question this game is physical? That was one of the games. The other one we'll talk about later. Don't talk about this game is not physical anymore because they let them guys play. When your mama got to tell you that you playing football instead of basketball, it's physical.
Shouts out to the rebuttal of PJ too.
Yes.
I love the perfect.
Yes, and it was all and that was fun. That was fun. It was fun in the moment and everything. No love, just all heart, all basketball. It's just the way it is. Brooklyn Nets, man. It's been said in the group. It's been said to my guy on the left, been said to my guy on the right, been said to the whole panel that I'm talking to, man. Health is one of the most important parts of basketball, and the healthiest team will win the Larry O'Brien trophy. They'll win the championship. And Brooklyn just didn't have enough people that was healthy, but at the same time, they gave it all they had. Called number 7 was not going. Number 7 was not going. Again, he has proven to y'all he is the best player in the league today. He just missed it just by that much.
If that man's shoe was if he was a half size, if his shoe was a half size smaller, they win that game.
He wins it.
He wins it on an incredible piece of shot making. Jerm, I want to go to you. We talk about positive vibes only. We talk about Milwaukee and a coach that's been under the scrutiny, a player in Giannis that's been under scrutiny. But Milwaukee, say what you want about Brooklyn's health, Milwaukee really showed a lot of heart and a lot of toughness to pull those last 2 games out.
Well, the big thing for Milwaukee was timely shot making in that game. We're just gonna call it what it is. Drew before the fourth quarter was 2 of 16 or something like that. So we're talking about a situation where you just keep shooting. If you know if you spent all this time in the gym on this jumper, shoot it. That's what you're here for. That's the difference in the series, if you ask me. Role players and the other guys being more consistent than the other guys from Brooklyn. That was the difference in the series. It's not about KD played, I believe it was 141 out of the last 149 minutes in game 5 through 7.
Yeah.
If you want to see, like, we WWE fans here, that little TikTok song, there'd be a WWE SmackDown. That man was out there like the Ultimate Warrior. He was knocked down every other play. PJ Tucker wasn't playing defense the whole time. Some of that was a little bit of football tackling out there too, but they let them play. And that's what and KD, as much as he was here, he still was hustling back on defense. He was still doing what he was supposed to. So I'm not slandering nobody.
Nah,
Milwaukee, great job of making timely shots and doing what you were supposed to do. Brooklyn, hopefully you healthy next year, and you're going to have another shot to run back at this thing. But shouts out to Milwaukee. Yeah, and let me just say this one, then I'm going to pass it right to you, MJ.
Okay.
I'm not giving Budenholzer anything here. This is about them players. Them players went and got that. That's testicular fortitude. You put you said, listen, we got to beat these folks on their own soil. And we're going to have to do this for game 7 against the best scorer we ever seen, who still put 48 in 52 minutes.
Shout out to Coach Barrett too, man. He called it.
Hey, I need 30 seconds real quick because we're moving this ball really swiftly, and I don't want to stop it like KD did in game 7. So Let me explain this one time for you comic book people who just really want to be able to feel like there's a superhero type of epicness you need for the game. The shit doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't. I remember when you were crying about LeBron passing too much in the clutch, the man had 50 and still lost the finals. Man averaged like 40 and still lost the finals. The year he did win the finals when he was averaging 40, he averaged 40 with a triple-double. KD lost that game because he went one-on-one way too much. I tell you all the time, this game, if you want to win, it dwells in the areas you don't want to go. Wasn't enough pin down screens, wasn't enough player movement. Even if guys' shots were broke, it wasn't enough selling the decoy as if they still may be a weapon. You could tell that he gave up on Joe Harris. You could tell that he gave up on Jeff Green when he didn't feel like playing. You could tell that, Blake Griffin didn't have it, so he didn't even use him as a decoy no more. He tried to put the game on his back. You can't do that in this league no more.
No.
You can't. They got PJ Tucker, one of the best defenders, in the game. When he gets tired, they got Chris Middleton, who is used to guarding KD, used to guarding these tough guys, because Giannis' role is to help side. Then you have Drew Holiday, who also was used to guard KD. They had 3 able guys that could really check KD and at least make it tough. Brooklyn played right into Milwaukee's hands by trying to make this game one-on-one. Yep. Sometimes in this game, and I'm going to give it to Big Shot, sometimes in this game, a person's strength is also their weakness. Yeah, we know you're the best offensive player in this game. So shoot it. We're just not going to foul you. You can't get to this rack. And we're going to make sure nobody else do anything else. So if you got it, big bro, you go right ahead. And he almost took it.
That's a perfect synopsis. We just gonna shut the water off on everybody else. And you can beat us. And even though me personally, now,
yeah,
I ain't giving that man no one-on-ones ever in life. But I get what he's saying is because by the time they got to the overtime, you could tell the gaslight was on him. Gaslight's on him.
And if
I think that's why he was so disappointed when he made that shot. He
made the one, right?
Dang, we gotta do this for 5 more minutes.
He was trying to end it there.
Here's because you went 1-on-1, but because you went 1-on-1 the whole game, nobody else in the rhythm now.
Right.
Nobody else on your team is in the rhythm.
See, even with that,
it's not his fault.
I'm gonna call this like this too. And I'm gonna say this. I ain't trying to be funny, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is where that first year coaching thing steps into play. Sometimes you got to save your players from themselves.
Yeah.
And in this situation, I would have liked to see Blake Griffin more in the fourth quarter than I would have liked to see Joe Harris in certain parts because of the Giannis effect and because of rebounding. Because after a while, that's where the game starts to be won is on the glass.
Blake fouled out.
No. I'm talking about in certain parts of the game.
Oh,
before. I know that. But I'm talking about before that. I thought Blake could have had a couple of more minutes in that game, considering he was keeping the defense, he was keeping the floor balanced, because he was knocking down his open jumpers and all those other things. So I'm just saying from that perspective, I think the in-game adjustments, right? Everybody, this is all of their first year playing together. This is what we kind of expect in certain situations, and they were not healthy. Those two things is fine. Shouts out to Milwaukee. I ain't about to dog them folks. Shouts out to them.
Ham, jump in.
Go ahead.
Even coupled with that though, Jeremy, it was something that I was mentioning even before that series, or really even the playoffs started. We haven't seen them even as a whole unit go through adversity yet. We still haven't because they've been injured.
Yep.
They've been injured. This is the first.
That's what we need to see.
Exactly.
That's what we need to see. That's how we gonna know if they're gonna hoist one or two or not.
They didn't win it, but it's almost kind of like an inconclusive because we didn't get them in this adversarial moment.
But I think
on the floor together.
But I think now going into next season for Brooklyn, that we're gonna go to Hot Take City.
Oh, shoot.
Brooklyn now is gonna have to find. They're gonna have to find pieces because as talented as those three guys are together, it is now no longer an opinion; it's fact. All three of them have health problems. You're not getting Durant, Harden, and KD are not gonna play 75 games tonight. They're just not. So you are gonna have to find another guy like a Bruce Brown. Shout out Bruce. The fact that Bruce Brown matters tells you what this is. But they're gonna have to find Bruce Brown. They're gonna have to find another guy like a Jeff Green. They're gonna have to find other guys to get them through regular seasons because that big three is just not gonna play 75 games. They're just not.
There is no more playing 82 regular season games as Iron Man.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
It never existed. If you look back at it, it never existed. When you're able to play one-on-one defense and rest on defense because you can't help, you're not playing 40 minutes for real. Yeah. You're resting for like 20 of them.
Bingo. So there you go.
It never existed.
So
that's what it's all about.
Now we got the flavor of the day.
Oh, we got some brand new flavor in the air?
Yeah, lemon pepper.
Unfortunately, this flavor we saw 2 years and change to the day. And that's Philadelphia in a game 7. And Philadelphia in a close game in a game 7. We are going to get to the Hawks. I promise the people positive vibes on. We are absolutely going to get to the Hawks because they deserve all the credit. Absolutely. We are going to get to them. But we have to have the official discussion. Whoever wants to jump in first,
let me say this. No, I'm going to say this. I'm going to give it to you, Jerm. I'm not going to even chime in. I'm just going to say, if you notice, first off, shouts out to our Hall of Fame point guard, Big Shot Ron, for being able to find the balance of holding teams accountable without slandering and giving credit to the team that won. That's all I want to say.
Right. We are definitely going to get to Atlanta because I think Atlanta is a hell of a story from where they were in December and January to where they are now. So we're going to get to Atlanta. I'm going Trav, Germ, Ham. It's very simple for me. When your second best player becomes unplayable in close games, you are in trouble.
Somebody can have my spot. I'm not going to talk about it.
All right. I'll be
make it easy. Can we make it easy?
Germ, MJ.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this real simple. At the end of the day, there's 2 reasons why Philadelphia lost the series: consistency and situational basketball. They were not consistent with jump shots. They were not consistent with playing defense in situations. They weren't consistent anywhere. They lost the free throw battle the entire series. And it wasn't all just Ben Simmons. All of them missed. Embiid missed 2 free throws that would have potentially put the game in reach in another situation and scenario. No. I'm not about to kill one person in this situation. I'm going to just call it what it is. I have this down to a science. The 3 S's to get a championship. We have shooting, we have stops, aka situational basketball, and superstar. Them 3 things, them 3 S's. Very simple. They didn't shoot well enough in the key moments. They didn't get stops in the key moments, and the superstars didn't play big in key moments. To you, MJ.
MJ Ham.
I'll make it simple. I'll make it more simple than that. Atlanta's 1 through 12 is better than Philly's 1 through 12. Dude, have y'all paid attention to what Gallinari was doing coming off the bench? He looked like an all-star snub coming off the bench. Lemon Pepper Lou turned back the clock like 3 years on. Like, you got to think about this. You got Trae Young resting on the bench, chilling, putting his shoulder pad on, all of that. You got Kevin Huerter or Bogdanovich. They can afford to not have a good game because y'all literally go 10 deep. And by the way, DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish is still injured.
Yeah.
So I told people this 2 years ago that they the Golden State of the East, and everybody thought I was crazy then. I don't know why y'all keep thinking that I'm crazy. It's not me. It's the lab. Blame the lab. Don't blame me. I just say what the lab tell me to say. That's it. I am 100% the lab. Go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead,
you need to make that a T-shirt too. It's not me. It's the lab. Straight up. I'm placing the order.
To the lab. That's it. I don't got no in this fight. I don't care enough. I watch the game for pure enjoyment and pure learning ability because I want to keep learning and being able to teach my kids. Shout out to Ball U Academy summer program. I want to keep teaching my kids the sauce so that they can keep overachieving in this game. That's the only reason why I study it.
Ham, what you got?
I got two things on this. I asked y'all a question in our inbox the other day. I'm like, yo, who is the leader on the floor for that team? And not just this current team, through the entire process.
Yeah.
That is kind of what you really saw. And look, man, they won what, 49 games?
Yeah.
Top seed in the East. If Atlanta don't miss 11 free throws in game 6, they beat them in 6. Atlanta was the better basketball team right now. Not what it was, not what it looked like on paper. Right now, Atlanta was a better basketball team. That's simple.
And Trav, since Trav didn't want to talk about Ben Simmons, I want to respect him.
You notice ain't none of us talk about Ben Simmons.
Let's talk about Atlanta. Now we get to positive vibes only and talk about a hell of a story. Dead in the water. Coach fired. 11th in the East. Going nowhere fast. And this is one of the great turnarounds of all time that we are watching in Atlanta. Trav, let's go to you to start off, man. This is not an ode to the Hawks right now. Let's talk.
Thank you. The Atlanta Hawks is the team. They're a young team that's just in a situation where they kind of don't know any better, but they just playing their tails off and winning games. They in this big moment, but they don't know it's a big moment. They making shots. They don't know it's a big shot. Pun intended. Everything they doing, they don't know how big the magnitude of the game is, but they playing to above the level of its magnitude.
Yeah.
I like it. Trey knows where every camera is on that floor.
Oh, Trey is a show. Trey knew where the cameras.
Hey, think about this though, and I'm gonna give it right back to you, Trav.
Yeah.
Man, he led the college league in points and assists. He went through the Big 12 gauntlet in which he went through every possible heckle you can go through. He's already built for this. Go ahead.
Them guys have been through that. Each individually, even if it's some AAU type stuff or anything, them guys have been through that. That's why that moment is not so big for them, because they already been through it. And Trae Young was broke the whole game. If y'all watched that Joel Embiid report when they asked him what happened towards the end, and he said, well, we missed free throws. We knew who we was shooting at. And then he missed a shot, and then Trae Young came down and hit the 3. He was 1 for 12 the first half, I want to say.
Yeah.
It then came back. I mean, he did what he had to do. And his others played well. So in this case, like what Ham said earlier, Atlanta was just better than Philadelphia.
I'm gonna tell you what my take on that is. We're not gonna slander the guys because it's overdone.
It's done.
But if you look at this, you figure Process and Trae Young cancel each other out. That's a wash.
Right.
But Kevin Huerter, Bogdanovich, and Gallinari ain't supposed to outplay Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. That's we talk about things that are not supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
In addition to you having a Seth Curry that played out his mind.
Steph Curry played out of his mind. Steph Curry was the second best player on the Sixers.
You wasted that because he's supposed to be the fourth option, which means if y'all do y'all job, y'all in this in 5.
Yeah.
So we got a comment. We got a couple things going on.
Go ahead.
A couple things going on in the comments. I just want to say this. I'm first of all, shout out to everybody in the comments. I want to make sure we get to those. We got G2 in the comments. We got Lawrence, Coach Barry in the comments. Jay Ham doing double duty. So is Mo Schefter. So with that being said, Lawrence Cleveland said, not saying they are, but how are they unlike the Heat from last year? Okay.
Skill.
Hold on, MJ. See, I got you. Oh, don't worry, I got you. Good night, Wolf. I'm gonna give you why.
I'll tell you why they not like the Heat. Because these young fellas won 5 real road games.
Bingo.
5. They won 2 in the Garden and they won 3 in Philadelphia.
They won 3 in the building of the top seed in the Eastern Conference.
Come on, man.
It is too. Atlanta beat both places that's known for real hip hop. Double flap.
The toughest fans in the league. Boo, boo, boo.
They went through it.
And they went in there and won 5 out of 7 against the
South got something to say.
South got something to say.
And how many home games they won?
2.
3. They won 3.
3? My bad.
3.
With their best player still on rookie money.
Hey, Atlanta home court advantage never been a home court advantage because it's a melting pot for everybody.
Bingo! It's not a home game. That's the same thing as Miami. Them don't be home games. Y'all could.
They're not home games in Miami because if you down and they bring the rope out and they got all that other stuff, the folks get ready to get on down. They getting out of the building. Then when they find out that Chris Bosh get the offensive rebound, he kick it back out to Ray and Ray splash it down. Now they want to come back in. No re-entry, Chief. No, they ain't no home game. You're right.
Hey, get to the comment because I want to talk about the next guy while G2 is here. Because I want to make sure G2 gets flowers on this. Go ahead.
Yeah. And the only thing I'm going to say is, you want to know the difference? Trae Young and Jimmy Butler. You ain't keeping Trae Young off the free throw line, out the lane, or from getting whatever it is he want on the floor. He showed that in that series. He threw body after body after body. Jimmy ain't gonna shoot. Trae said, I'm shooting. But I'm gonna shoot them shots, and I'm gonna take the ones that my team needs me to take in order to get there. And also, Trae Young is a much better playmaker than Jimmy Butler.
But Trae has the perfect around him. Everything that Trae needs, he has around him. Very similar to when Steph won his first title. Everything Steph needed was around him. He needed depth. He needed athleticism. He needed somebody who throw the lob to when you help the paint. He needed shooters around when you help off of that. And he needed the ability to be able to run an offensive system that let him get the green light to go and call his own number when he needs to. And he has every bit of that. And when he goes to the bench, he gets to rest comfortably because they bringing in 2 more killers.
Now, we're going to slide into the conference preview. And I'm glad G2 is in the comments because now we're going to talk about a masterful performance on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Devin the Dude, and I ain't talking about the rapper from Houston.
Hey, Trey, put that shirt down. Put your shirt down.
We talk about the game Devin had against the Lakers to close them out. That was better to me. What happened on Sunday? I like that one better. That was mid-range, drive, threes, rebound the basketball, playmate, defensive rebound, lead them in the huddle. That was everything you can ask a basketball player to do.
How you like your steak?
in
How you
one
like your steak?
Well done.
It was everything. It was as complete. You know what I'm saying? I'm not big on hyperbole, but I do agree with Charles Barkley. That was one of the more complete basketball games I've ever seen somebody play on Sunday. Devin, we don't do rankings, we don't do lists. But as of this moment, but that dude, man, he is something else. And G2,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give G2 his flowers because he called us in the playoff preview that Devin was ready for this. And I was kind of like, I don't know, are you sure? He is more than ready for this. Fellas, Ham, I go to you, MJ, Devin B.
I got nothing for it, man. I'm just locked in. I'm ready for tomorrow night so we can watch round 2 of it. Because see, on the flip of that, I like how Paul George answered back and got down and they went head to head with that yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So it was just great basketball being played. But this Suns team,
Yeah.
yo, man, this is like the new. This probably gonna be the new one. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna have me staying up late at night past bedtime, and I like Golden State did a few years back. You know, we was all up watching them like that. So seeing Devin, and this is regardless if Chris stays there or not. You know what I'm saying? It's like what they got. He got some real hitters with them, man.
They got some really good Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges.
I had
The greatest reclamation project in the league, Dancing Cam, who is now played himself into big money coming this summer. Bill Russell's grandson. Hey, man, this Phoenix team, man, I was suspect on them all season. I'm not even gonna front. I won't play it like I knew I was on it. I'm on the bandwagon right now. I got a foot and a half on the bandwagon right now. MJ, go ahead.
what makes this team go is the one guy who actually had finals experience from last year, and I liked him since Boston. He was always great value. He always did everything that you need your role player to do. He never demanded the ball, but he could still make shots. He could give you 20 in any moment. He could guard 4 positions comfortably. He never does anything that's outside of what he's good at doing. And to be quite frankly with you, he's just, to me, if he was put in that situation, he could be a low-budget Jimmy Butler, and that's Jay Crowder. He's the one that's making this thing go. If y'all don't have a real-life player that's going to give him work, you're going to be in for a long night because guess what? He's the 4th or 5th option, and he's making his shot, and he can switch on the pick and roll, and he's guarding your best player or your biggest player and taking them completely out of the equation. What does this do for Devin Booker? That's one less thing he has to worry about. What does this do for Chris Paul? That's 2 less things he has to worry about. What does this do for DeAndre Ayton? Now I just got to worry about rim running and blocking shots. And I got enough energy now, since I don't got to guard nobody on the switch of the pick and roll. I got energy now to even go in my bag a little bit on offense because I have way more offensive talent than people think. Like low budget, if you was to run the offense through me, I'm okay with that.
Jern, I want to get you back in. I think this is going to be a really, really fun series. And let's go to the Clippers side of things. And the guy who, to me, on the Clippers, we talk about, the flowers when the flowers are due. Mr. June, a.k.a. Reginald Orenthal Jackson the Fourth. Reggie has played so well these last 3-4 weeks. It's like when is this gonna end? And apparently, it's never gonna end.
No, it's not.
Jerm, Reggie Jackson, and then Jerm, what the Clippers down a game. What do they do now to even the series and change and push forward?
All right. First, shout out to Coach Les in the comments. I see you over here on YouTube. Basically, I'm gonna go off of what Les just said. He said they quiet about Paul George now.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna give Les his flowers in front of everybody. Me and Les had a private conversation. In this conversation, he said Paul George, as good as he is, may be a player who has a hard time playing with other elite players. But not only is he may have that problem, but what he may do is he may be a little bit better served to run a team by itself and play a little bit more with him being the best player on the team. Since Kawhi has went down, we have seen PG be consistent for the first time in this entire playoff stretch with the Clippers. Not only is he being consistent, he's been assertive when he needs to. He's not forcing shots in bad spots. And the only thing that we can say is we just want him to be a little bit better with not turning the ball over, which I think we can say in the playoffs, these type of things are going to happen. Right?
He was really good Sunday.
And was really good the last 3 games in that
really good the last 3 games.
But
that was
and it go back to coaching. Go ahead, Big Shot.
No, I'm saying that I think this series, fellas, we're gonna get to Atlanta, Milwaukee. I just hope Chris Paul and we can get Chris Paul and or Kawhi back. Because as Ham talked about, this Sunday was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was and that's what we want our basketball to be. Forget who's your guy, who's your team. Be fun. And the Suns and Clippers Sunday was fun. That was as fun a game as you would ever watch.
And speaking of that fun, Chris Paul is out game 2.
We kind of figured that one.
Right. And just to throw this in there, just for Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson was a part of the OKC situation with Durant, Harden, Eric Maynard, all those guys. We got to remember Reggie Jackson was a part of a very, very dynamic guard rotation in that Oklahoma City time frame. He can play some basketball. For players like that, it's about confidence. Once he knew that Ty Lue was going to ride with him, his game went up a notch. It didn't, because Rondo comes in, everybody's like, oh, Rondo about to take all the minutes. This isn't. Ty Lue said, no. You earn your minutes on this basketball team. And you can tell that Reggie Jackson bought in. And since then, look at his confidence. This is the best ball he's played in his career since OKC. And it's a reason for that. And I love the fact, I don't say this a lot, but I love when a coach gives a player like that an opportunity and says, go do your best. I'm going to ride with you.
And most
importantly, just let him play him. Go ahead, MJ.
And most importantly, you got Chauncey Billups on that bench. Chauncey Billups didn't come into the league as a true point guard. He had to learn that. Chauncey Billups hopped around a lot of teams before he finally settled into who he was. What better person to mentor you in which you have been a journeyman and not knowing what your role is in this league than a person who was able to figure it out and get a ring from it. And if you really look, if you remember that 2004 push that Detroit made, if you look at how Chauncey Billups played and look at how Reggie Jackson is playing now, it's eerily similar.
Yeah. Reggie has had the whole bag working, the wing three. He going off the dribble. He just playing with a freedom and a confidence that I haven't seen him play with in years. Mm-hmm. It's great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Ham, I'm going to come back to you. I call this the series of we finna find out how much y'all like basketball Now we're gonna find out how much y'all like it. And that's Atlanta, Milwaukee, which has to me some fascinating matchups. Ham, I'm gonna start with you. Just kind of your first look at this series.
First of all, sign me up. Couple reasons why. I still got that photo of Trey Young in the garden where everybody just looking down on him. He got that smile like Junior had on Problem Child right before he said, "I hope you guys are insured." That right there. I got Calvin Justice. He referred to Trey Young as the evil heel Steph Curry. Perfect. Perfect plot line, perfect storyline character for this playoff. He could go anywhere and be the heel this way, So, and then we look at this Bucks team. This might be the time, y'all. It just may be their time. I think about what Jerm was saying earlier about Drew Holiday. Y'all remember when the score was 101 even, fourth quarter, and he hit that three that put him up three, and it reminded me of the three that Kyrie hit 5 years to the date prior on that level. And I'm thinking about it. I was thinking about it after the game Saturday night. I'm like, yo, they just might get there now. And they just may win it. Because Jerm said it earlier. It ain't about Bud. These cats on the floor getting this done. And they got a tough hurdle to deal with Atlanta. Because house money is not even a word for these dudes. They own Chris Pace style Magic City passes. If y'all know how to get there. You know what I'm saying? They own that kind. And so they not scared of it, man. They not scared of the lights, the moment. It's Atlanta. They ready and they here. And they got a bunch of dudes still on rookie money. I'm rooting, I'm pulling, and I'm hoping for Atlanta to win. I'm expecting the Milwaukee to win. I'm cool with either one, though.
Trav, let me get you back in here, Trav. Your first thoughts, ATL Milwaukee.
Dude, they need to bring back the baskets with the back ends, with the wall on the end, with the rims, with no dunk resistance, and an ABA basketball, the red, white, and blue basketball. They need all of it. And
Trav want the game at the Omni and at the Mecca.
Exactly. I want ABA action.
I want Jackie.
You know what? Yes, Jackie Moon and all them. I want all of that action. Now y'all want to talk about the scores and stuff. I want it to be 120 to 130.
Oh yeah.
Because both of these teams are taking advantage of what they giving them. And we was talking about this last night. And as much pick and roll as Atlanta does, Brooke Lopez better put his track shoes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if he don't step up, Trey Young is going to throw a floater from the free throw line. He's going to throw it from the three-pointer. He also going to throw a lob to Capella. It's going to happen. So me personally, I want to see these guys. It don't matter who wins. It don't matter who wins. It really don't.
You know, when he throw that floater, I could never tell if it's a shot or not. I love
him and James Harden.
Him and James Harden got the same thing.
Is it a shot?
Hey, him and James Harden's floaters look the exact same.
Sure do.
As a lob. And it's James is a little gyro looking throw, and Trey is doing it from half court, 3/4 court. Soon when he step on the half court line from the scorer's table,
it don't matter. He just put it up.
I mean, John Collins got a jump like this,
and he got a shirt, and he made a shirt out of it.
First of all, John Collins wins the J. Ham Award for heel activity.
Yeah.
Hey,
because he trolled the ultimate troll. And then he banged on his head.
He got that shirt made the next day and had it ready for game 7.
Hey, when we seen that dunk, when we was watching the game, everybody said, "Oh!" Everybody.
He put
Go
that
ahead,
man.
MJ.
Let me
He
go
had
ahead
his
and say,
head like this. Rock up, my baby.
let me say this. First and foremost, shout out to the fact that 3 out of the 4 coaches left are African-American coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave that at that. But also, if you notice, 3 out of those 4 coaches that happen to be African-American coaches are great at building relationships and are great at adjustments. I don't know about the relationship part with Budenholzer, but I know he'll make adjustments. And in this series in itself,
It's analytic coaching itself.
if Giannis doesn't play center in this series, it's going to be quick. This is Golden State versus Cleveland.
MJ, this I know, man. We think so much alike.
It's the last.
Giannis has to play center in this series.
I'm gonna raise you one, Big Shot.
Uh-huh.
Giannis should be the person that comes up and traps Trae Young because of the size, and actually that can disrupt some of the things with the lob when they do it with Clint Capella.
We ain't going to discuss strategy just yet because I need to see the game. He needs to play center because Brook can't guard anybody on that front court.
Ain't guard nobody. He cannot guard nobody.
If Gallinari comes in, Brook is cooked. He can't guard John Collins. He help off Clint Capella. It's a lot. He can't guard the rookie either because that's Clint Capella part 2.
Yeah, he might make they might make Brook unplayable.
We're gonna see the return. We're gonna see the return of Bobby Portis.
And the thing with
Forbes got to play too.
Yeah, and with Brook, you don't get no offensive advantage like you did against Brooklyn.
Right.
At least you got an offensive advantage to nullify what he couldn't do. There is no offensive advantage in here. I mean, if you gave him the ball, he's capable of scoring 20 probably one series against Capella, but they're not going to do that. That's not their offense. They want him to spread it out and let Giannis cook.
So, fellas, first of all, the fact nobody had this combination of conference finals. So I feel like because of that, we can simply put the finals over again. Everybody get a money. So my pick for the finals, because I think it would be such an incredibly fun series, because I'm all for the fun. Give me Atlanta and Phoenix. I think Atlanta and Phoenix is just too much fun. Chris Paul back, who we know Chris is ready to be a villain. Trae Young clearly likes the camera. He clearly likes the heel roll. Sign me up for that. So I am picking Phoenix. I know Phoenix is already up a game. It ain't cheating. Whatever. Give me Phoenix and Atlanta. Give me Phoenix and Atlanta in the finals. Who y'all got?
Big Shot, I think you picked that because you like the 2 DJs there.
I like
2 DJs. Me personally though, I still got one left. I still got the Clippers left. I'm gonna still ride with them. I'm gonna still ride with them because I'm praying to God that Kawhi Leonard comes back. And for some odd reason, I'm going to go with Milwaukee.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
John.
with Milwaukee.
Oh boy, I picked the Clippers. Obviously, I want to ride with them. I'm gonna give you 2. I'm gonna give you what I would like from my heart, and then I'm gonna give you the lab. The lab tells me Milwaukee and Phoenix is what we're gonna get. My heart, I honestly can say I want the same thing you want, Big Shot. Give me Atlanta and Phoenix. Trae, Chris Paul. Give me Atlanta and Phoenix. Hotlanta and the desert. 7 games with Trae hoisting that bad boy at the end of Finals MVP. Give it to me. That's what I want.
Ooh, let's go all the way then. MJ.
Wow.
All right. I am rooting for Milwaukee to win the entire championship so we can end this Giannis crap. He is the best player.
I would be with that. I would be with that too, to be honest.
He is the best player left in the league. that's in the playoffs right now because Kawhi is hurt. The best players usually win. He has the pieces that he needs to make sure that he could become the best version of himself. So he don't got to guard the best wing player, no matter who that may be. He could just protect the paint. He can attack. And he has, just in case he's not getting it going as far as getting downhill, he got not one but two players who can bring the ball up, get settled in, and even create their own shot. So I would love to see Milwaukee win for the simple fact that we need the universe to balance back out. He decided to take the big contract. He decided to believe in Milwaukee. Let's reward this man with a chip.
Jay Ham, to wrap it up.
I don't care who win. All I know is that I'm sending Dylan Brooks and Ja Morant to the finals. And when they call it down for anybody that win, the grid has got down. That's all he need to know. Now, straight up.
So Jay, what you saying is Dylan got the money in the bank briefcase. He gonna come slap somebody in the head with it.
Oh, he jumping around like Scott Hall and everything. You know what I'm saying? We taking it back. We taking it back. Yeah, but now, all seriousness, I have no preference, y'all. Here's what I know.
Yeah.
Whenever Bob Pettit and them won with the Hawks in the 50s or 60s, whatever they won. I think it was 57. I had to look that up. 1983, 1971, never. We about to witness history. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, and it's not. This is why I was saying last week, yo, it be kind of fun when LeBron ain't around no more in the playoffs. It actually get kind of fun. And now we got Kevin out the way too. Oh, for real? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Now we about to have some heat up.
Hey, and I want this to be understood. The three players that mean the most to an organization, LeBron, Kawhi, and Kevin Durant, are all out. So we are going to see how y'all really like basketball, because those three have been a part of quite a few of all of the championships, if not all of them, since 2011 for the last 10 years. The only other person we talking about is Steph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no, with them four players, if we don't get a finals with one of them four players, I just want all y'all to understand. If y'all don't like basketball, just do me a solid. Just say that then.
This is to me, if you really like basketball, there's no combination of finals that you shouldn't like. There's a ton of like.
Yes.
There's a ton of like, though. If you're gonna base if your basketball basement, your basketball enjoyment is based on geography, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you at this point.
You know what, Big Shot? Before we close this out, MJ said something, and when MJ says something, I don't too much challenge it because he may have done the research. Well, I know he'd have done the research, but y'all can answer this in the chat. We're gonna answer it after this. But what if I told you that Devin Booker is the best player in this playoff right now?
I'm not going to argue with you about it.
He might be.
I don't argue. I don't argue semantics when we got to do what it takes to win.
I tell you what, so we don't false advertise here at the scene. We told y'all it was a double header. We're gonna do this smooth transition. I'm gonna stay on the line for a little bit. I'm gonna let Jerm kind of take this thing over. He got his hands ready to catch the football or the basketball.
No, it's football. You calling audibles.
Oh yeah.
That's Omaha right there.
We're gonna do this smooth transition. Views from the 22 for the football heads is now starting. Hopefully, our main man Mo and our main man Vic are gonna hop on the line. And actually, as I scroll as I swipe right, there they are.
We here.
So we are now transitioning to Views from the 22. Remember, 94 Feet of Life is the Facebook group. Scene is the family. Shout out Ham. Since Vic and Mo are here, I'm gonna slide out here and become a listener. MJ, Ham, Trav, Germ, it's Big Shot, 94 Feet of Life signing out. Views from the 22 signing in.
Yes,
Take
sir.
Set. Hey, hey, y'all. What's going on, y'all? Hey, you see how we ain't even.
I just wanted to stay on real quick before I get ready to hit got to
the
ride
hay.
out that thing. Yeah, because I ain't had a day off since like last Monday, y'all. I'm tired.
Yeah. Ham been hustling. Ham been
Shut
hustling.
up.
I've been on the hump.
You were more than welcome to stay there,
Ham
brother.
been coming through clutch too. If I may say so myself.
I hit you. I'm gonna hit you up about those. I'm gonna hit you up about those in a little bit. So
And
you know what I'm saying?
as long as the VIPs get taken care of, we are.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I just want the world out there to know that all y'all quarterbacks are slow as hell. Y'all like garbage, okay? I just want to kick this spring, all of this OTAs and training camp activities. We're gonna bring it to the 2021 live. I ain't seen Vic in like 2 months, y'all. That's
For
why I had
real.
you know what I'm saying? I ain't seen my brother in a good minute, so I had to stick
Yeah.
around for a few. I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time, man. I'm gonna hang back, listen,
Much
and
love, brother.
y'all know what
Legend.
to do. Represent Chief.
We'll see
Views
you.
from the 22, live on the scene. We are here. We are live. We are here. As you see, y'all see Sports Center reloads. This is the scene reloaded. Take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, man, we are here. We're gonna have a couple more people come through for the show as well. So don't adjust your sets. We are here. Fellas, how we doing? How we feeling this evening? We good?
We feeling great, baby. We feeling great. We got a good show planned. We haven't really talked about what we're going to talk about as usual during the off season. But man, we got some flavor for y'all tonight.
So with that being said, Vic, how you doing, bro? You good?
I'm doing good, man. Out there hustling too. Just got back in, you know what I'm saying? And just got home in time to talk to the guys and listen to a little bit what they had to say at the end. I mean, you guys do an amazing job covering the NBA, man. It's good
Yes, sir.
talking to y'all and just learning a little bit more because I haven't been heavy on the NBA since Iverson and those guys and the Durant and the Thunder days, but you know, these guys catch me up, man. They do a good job. Shout out to Devin Booker. That's my little brother.
All right, Vic, slow down. And then we got everybody in the club getting tipsy. Just stop through, Mr. Jaquan himself. Go ahead, brother. How you doing, brother? You
What's
on
up,
mute
y'all?
there,
How y'all
brother?
feeling?
All right,
We good. We good.
So hopefully the first lady stops through. She said she'll
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah.
Everything else like that. But let's start at the top, y'all. Let's start at the top. We have some very, very interesting news in the NFL. We had Julio Jones be traded to the Tennessee Titans. We want to start with Julio because yes.
Can we just go a couple of headlines before we jump into the Julio thing?
Go ahead.
Just a couple of quick things. Couple quick things. Nothing major, just some quick things. That we might touch on, maybe give the first lady a little bit of time. We did tell people 9:30. We're a little bit ahead of schedule at the moment. Number one, some bad news. Frank Clark of the Chiefs was arrested on Sunday, so that's not good. Eli Manning is back with the Giants as a business operations department, and he's also getting his number retired, which, hey, rightfully so. He deserves it. Good for Eli. You beat Tom Brady twice, you're gonna make the Hall of Fame, you can get your number retired. That's just the way it goes. Nick Foles only did it once by fluke. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers, as always, Aaron Rodgers said it's been a quiet offseason and probably the most unquiet of off seasons for Aaron Rodgers. But he wore a shirt that said, "I'm offended," just a couple days after CEO of the Packers, Mark Murphy, called Aaron Rodgers a, quote, complicated fella. And Aaron apparently was offended by those statements. Obviously, this is all just, who knows if it's bluffing, who knows if it's chess, who knows if it's checkers. He already missed the first mandatory session, but the Packers gave him an excused absence, obviously, instead of fining him, because why would they just want to add any more gasoline to this fire? But the next target date is July 27th, and I don't know if Aaron's going to be there. The Packers don't really know if Aaron's going to be there. I don't think Aaron even knows if Aaron is going to be there, but I'm sticking to my bet. Aaron Rodgers will start for the Green Bay Packers in week 1. He could show up Sunday at 12:55 p.m., and I'm going to tell him, get some stretching. Kickoff is in 10 minutes. That's how serious it is, and I think he'll be there. And then lastly, the shop The HBO show by LeBron James and his team and Maverick Carter, it is premiering with a new episode this Friday, and none other than the GOAT, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, will be on there. And it's just a little go around the horn, and then Germ, you take it from there. He had a quote on there. He said that some team during free agency pulled out at the last minute, and he thought to himself, damn, you're sticking with this mother. Who do you think he was talking about? We'll go Jaquan, Vic, Germ, and then Germ, you take it away.
Well, I hope it wasn't the Steelers because
That's for sure. That's for sure. It wasn't gonna be the Steelers.
Look, that's all I'm saying in my mind. I was like, Jesus, if it was the Steelers, don't let it happen. Yeah, let's just hope it wasn't them because that's the last thing we need when I play right now. Someone talking about us.
Vic, what you think?
I mean, I got two teams in mind. That is funny. I didn't even know that's what the quote was. I didn't really pay attention because I saw something about it. I'm thinking that it might have been David Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Derek Carr, okay.
Or probably Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
That's my guess, obviously. Germ?
I was actually gonna say the Colts, but I also was going to say, I'm gonna tell you this: the Colts, the Chargers, and Vegas were the three teams.
Right.
Apparently,
At the time, who was the quarterback?
The Titans were also involved to some capacity.
That's a fair point because Herbert was not the quarterback of the Chargers at the time.
Correct. Tyrod Taylor was.
Oh yeah, he was.
So,
I was like, well, did they have Herbert?
That's a good point. So we got three teams there that is most likely. Yeah.
And so with that,
don't count out Tennessee either now.
You know, here's what I'm gonna say about Tennessee. Here's what I'll say. The reason why I'm not really focusing on Tennessee is because I know Brady would have picked Tennessee last out of that group.
Maybe for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of where they are a little bit
location.
Yes, absolutely. But then besides that, we all agree here that the Chargers would have been perfect for Brady.
Oh yeah.
The Chargers would have been perfect for him.
Oh yeah.
Him and Keenan Allen, they would have been roommates by week 1.
Hunter
Henry at the time. We talking,
we didn't want him in the AFC no more. So
okay, well,
yeah, we was done with him.
I mean,
that's because y'all was too busy doing the chicken here. You know,
don't start.
People like to talk about how he went to a team that was already stacked, and they had all the parts and stuff like that. The Chargers, he would have. I mean, Gronk, AB, and those guys would have followed him over. Leonard Fournette. They would have drafted instead of a quarterback. Who would have they had drafted third overall? An offensive lineman. So it kind of, you kind of have a situation where even the Colts would have adjusted to who they just signed. So don't just say, oh, he went to a team that was already stacked and he could have not done it at another team. No, there's other teams that were very well in position for a Tom Brady, putting on their uniform.
Like Tampa Bay was not the attraction. Bruce Arians was not the attraction. Tom Brady was the attraction.
Right.
Wherever he would have went,
Bruce said it himself. I was either gonna roll with Winston, or I was gonna roll with the GOAT. That's what he said out his mouth. Yeah. I ain't gotta say nothing else. Right. All I'll say is Phillip Rivers, and his former team, the Chargers, are the two teams that I think he probably looked at and said, "Oh, they went with him over me," and that's what it was. With that being said,
I mean,
now we can adjust.
Yeah. Yes. There was rumors that they decided Phillip was going to be the guy. So, the Colts were like, we'd rather have Phillip over Brady. So
y'all see how shaky I am right now? That's how that decision making is for all the teams that passed up on him. Shaky. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, we got to focus them at center. So center ourselves, transitioning back into Tennessee. Don Julio, he's here. He is now a part of this football team. Here's the beautiful thing about this. I don't know if you guys seen it, but the report said initially it was a second round pick. It actually was not a second round pick. It was a later round pick. I have to go and find a note where I put it because I don't see it on my desk, but it was actually a later round pick than a second round pick for Julio Jones, which makes the value even more. Let's just say it makes it greater because you didn't pay a high draft pick. Again, Trent Williams went for a 5th round pick in the draft when he came back. That's a big deal. That's a big difference. And that's a franchise player at left tackle who's just coming from not playing football, which we're going to save that part right there for another part of the conversation. But with that being said, fellas, does Julio Jones add value or expectation to the Tennessee Titans?
Expectation.
Go ahead, Mo. Take it away. Why? And because I use expectation because you said trends.
I got you. Expectations, and honestly, Germ, probably more so false hope. Tell you the truth, because he's not adding much value to your team. Okay, you get somebody to replace Corey Davis. So what? Big deal. Again, this is a wide receiver position. Again, this is a wide receiver over 30 with lower body injuries who's been nagging him for several years now. Now, I'm not saying Julio Jones is not going to be productive. I'm not saying Julio Jones is not going to be fantasy worthy. But how many wins are you really adding to your football team? More importantly, how many wins are you adding in January to your football team? None. Flat out none. Like not, oh, maybe, flat out none. And again, it's not so much the Julio thing, because we know what a spectacular player he is, his age and all that. But more importantly, the quarterback. Now, the quarterback is a fine quarterback. He's a starting quarterback. He's a top 17, 18, 19 quarterback, whatever, right? He's not the guy to get you over the hump. And that's Tennessee's ultimate problem. And I think now you got a defense that's not quite as beefy as what they were. You got an offensive line. You're not sure if they're quite as beefy as they were. And you got Tannehill, who, again, with all due respect, middle of the road guy. Not too high, not too low. He's not going to take you places, but you're not going to break down. And that's just who Tannehill is.
Vic, expectation?
It's a phenomenal question. It's a phenomenal question because obviously it adds more expectations now because of his name. You know, because of that name that he's built, the brand that he's built, the type of career that he has built, which is Hall of Fame worthy. You know, whether you want to believe it or not. So, I mean, the expectations now for the Titans shoot up significantly, and the value is probably very small, if any, unfortunately. Again, you guys talked about Ryan Tannehill, but to break it down more from a labistic, shout out to Mo for that word, point of view, he struggles outside the numbers, and that's where teams need a Julio Jones type of talent where he can, I mean, his route running is phenomenal. How physical he is phenomenal. His athletic ability to adjust his body is great outside the numbers. And that's where Ryan Tannehill struggles. One of the best quarterbacks in between the hash marks, passing. That's why you see him in that middle class that we talk about. But in order for him to take that next level, he has to be better outside the numbers. And that's why you got the Corey Davis situation where he was just not used to his best ability. And so, of course, they'll use Julio inside. You'll see him line up in the slot. You'll see him line up tight to formations like the Titans like to do anyway. But in order for you to win games in January, okay, because that's what we forget is that the idea of professional sports is to finish number one. Let's not forget about that. And, for them to win, they're going to need Julio outside the numbers.
Jaquan, for you, expectation or value? Which one does he provide more of?
Expectation. Again, what they said is comes to January. I mean, adding Julio is not going to help you beat the Chiefs or the Bills in the playoff games. You don't have a defense. They struggled badly on third down last year. Like, I think they was giving up the worst third down
historically.
Last year. So you added offense, but you didn't add no defense to help that. So teams are going to score on you still. You can't. Your goal is to run the ball. That's what y'all known for anyway. Is Derrick Henry. So now that you got Julio, I don't know. I feel like he didn't go anywhere as though he was going to get production like he thought he was going, like he thought he wanted.
Yeah.
So you went from maybe a little production to probably no production at all, because now you probably won't get double teamed a lot. Because AJ Brown is there, but I mean, are we really scared of AJ Brown?
That's a fair, but you know what? Why that's a fair question?
Right.
Because it's not saying that AJ Brown is a bad player, right? It's just saying that Julio Jones is going to take on the Corey Davis role in this offense. And his role was to take those double teams and give AJ the underneath one-on-ones against the inside guys or the linebackers or whoever was guarded or lined up
which
against them.
Which he's great at. Which he's absolutely great at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
But those are the things that he's there for. So when everything that Mr. Club Getting Tipsy just said to go along with everything, I love the fact that you brought up the third down and then the expectation, because here's another part about this that we haven't talked about. The offensive line is regressing a little bit as well. And we know that offensive line play doesn't transition from year to year to year to year to year, because every year the offensive line in the top 5 always does what?
Changes, flip-flops.
It rotates.
Yep.
So that's an interesting situation. And then with Derrick Henry, like Jaquan just said, it's going to be really interesting to see exactly how that all plays out for them. Just to throw this last part in, Julio is a great receiver. He's going to probably retire as one of the best ever. But he goes into that long list of receivers that were exceptional and great players that never won anything.
Right.
And it's just because the position, like I get so much stuff from the position. The position it is the most important position on the football field, on the entire football field. That includes the DBs are more important. That means every position on the field is more important than that. And it's also the least important position on offense because everybody else has to do their job up front. And the quarterback has to get you the ball.
Right.
Which is why the running back, bingo.
It's very dependent.
Which is why the running backs, to go along with the tight ends, are more valuable in today's NFL. And we have to understand the evolution aspect of that. So we want Julio to do well here at Views. We want him to be exceptional. I would love to see him get an opportunity for a ring. Again, but the thing that is going to be evident here is the quarterback play is going to be the key factor in that.
Right. And Jeremy, you just had a thought. Well, you just made a thought, a thought was created in my mind as I was listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep talking. I mean, we've talked for years about the value of the wide receiver position going down. And I'm just starting to wonder now, somebody listening at home for the first time, casual listener, in their mind with what you just said, maybe somebody is saying, well, what about Michael Irvin? What about Jerry Rice? What about all these great wide receivers? Lynn Swann, shout out to Lynn Swann. For all these great wide receivers from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. What about them? Here's where it is. The evolution of the game changed the value of every single position, one way or the other. And for the wide receiver position, you could argue that value is what plummeted the most. Shout out to everybody investing in stocks right now. You could say that one was probably the one that plummeted the most. And it's because the rules changed, the coverage changed. Now, instead of this in your face, we're going to basically wrestle at the line of scrimmage, and you got to be strong enough, physical enough, fast enough to separate and catch. Now it's more so of this mental game where the corners are giving you your space. Everything is this pattern reading type of scheme. It's not really zone. It's not really man. It's a solid mixture. And again, these rule changes, this is my point here. These rule changes doesn't make it easier or harder, because both of them have their challenges, whether you're pressing onto the line of scrimmage or whether this new evolved defensive scheme where the defenses are keeping everything in front of them. Their eyes are completely reading the quarterback. It's so much more sophisticated. So it's more dependent on a quarterback who can make every throw and an offensive line that can protect. You have those two things. You can get any wide receiver to have 80 catches in this league. And that's not even an exaggeration. Look at it. Look at fantasy. Look at how many players each week come out of nowhere on FanDuel. Like, how the hell did this dude even pick this guy for $4,400?
Yeah.
Well, that's because the position is not about necessarily you. It's about who's giving it to you and who's protecting the person giving it to you.
Star power at wide receiver means just as much as star power does at pretty much the power forward position in basketball.
Yeah.
Star power forward is not gonna be the guy to get you over the hump. Just like a star wide receiver isn't gonna be the guy to get you over the hump. If you're not kicking ass in the trenches, if you're not kicking ass at that position in that particular area, then the rest of your football team is subject for question. And that ultimately is what we're talking about. And that right there is how we segue to the next thing. Because the one position that we did segue to is the running back position. And we got a guy right here by the name of LeVeon Bell, who came out in the news and he pretty much said, look, I would never play for Andy Reid ever again. With that being said, I'm going to ask and pose a question to the guys first. And I'm going to start with Jaquan. Is LeVeon Bell in a situation where he's a beggar and he can't be a chooser? Or is Le'Veon Bell in one of those situations where he still has value so he can still exercise his right to speak?
I feel like he needs to play wherever he can right now because, one, I don't know why he thought that he was going to be a starter in Kansas City anyway. I don't know whether that was the issue, but I knew he was going to be a starter. I just wish we would have just paid the money. We would have still had him, but I'm going to stop being bitter.
I'm glad. You know what? You said it. Thank you.
Don't thank him just yet.
What? I'm just saying. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him, man. I just wish that I just wish him well. Man. I have no hate towards him. I just wish him well. At this point, you got to play for whoever gets you, whatever you get.
First of all, I'm going last on this subject for two reasons. Number one, me and Jen about to argue. Number two, Tanya may be upset with me after I say what I got to say. But good evening to you, Tanya. You came in just in time.
What are we doing? Good evening, guys.
Good evening. So I asked the question. We're talking about Le'Veon Bell. I said, Le'Veon Bell, is he a beggar and can't be a chooser at this stage? Or is he a guy who can still talk his ish and rest on his laurels? So I'll go to you. I'll come right to you. You're coming in hot.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say he had a beggars can't be choosers standpoint because even with us, you only played like a season or two without being injured. You were either injured or suspended the majority of the time you played with us. So, I mean, he was great when he was on the field, but I'm not paying you all this money to be injured. So at this point, you're gonna have to take what you can get.
And you're not paying him all this money to go smoke weed with LeGarrette Blunt down McKnight Road.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Vic?
I'm gonna just let you and Mo go at it. You know, I have nothing to add to it. I mean, he's got to take. I would if I was a team that has playoff aspirations, Super Bowl aspirations, I would sign Le'Veon as a backup role, and if I'm Le'Veon, I'm taking it. So that's where I'm at with that. And I love the guys. I think he was one of the best I've ever seen.
He is.
Come on, Chef.
He is.
Come on, Chef. Come on.
I'm gonna start. The evidence is gonna show that none of what I'm about to say is in hindsight. Okay, I'm gonna read you from a little article titled "Scared Money Don't Make No Money" from September 7th, 2018. Okay, and just so if y'all are curious, it is a 3-minute read according to the Google whatever. The article starts with it's a game of chess. And under the pawns section is your boy, number 26, the sweetest feet in the game, Le'Veon Bell. And it talks about the harsh reality of the business as players get paid based on a few variables outside of their control. And unfortunately for Le'Veon Bell, the value of his position is greatly inferior to the quarterback, the guy protecting the quarterback, and the guy going after the quarterback. Okay? And I asked, is he willing to sit out a year truly? How far is he really willing to take these things? And I was against it for two reasons. Number one, he'd be a year older, and that magic number, 30 years old, for running backs is a very real thing. As we talked about on the show a couple of weeks ago, there's only like 5 wide receivers over 32 in the NFL. And as for running backs, Frank Gore is an anomaly in every way. And then number two, I talked about the body and how it goes through basically a car crash. It starts preparing itself every Sunday for this absorption of hits. As a running back, you can't just take a year off. A year off, just off, not even rehabbing, not suspended. You just going on vacation. Mentally, spiritually, your body is going to adapt to that. Your body is thinking, oh, this is done. Okay, we training. We're not rehabbing. We're not on this strict diet. We're not on this sleeping schedule. We're not traveling. I'm not going through car crashes every Sunday. We done. So now after a year, you want to come back and spin it and say that you're going to be the same player at 29 years old? Excuse me, absolutely not. And I think for LeVeon, I don't want to so much kill the player. What I think is important to note, and this is probably why Rock Nation was made and why Maverick Carter became who he is because some of these players have really bad representation. Check out Michael Vick. That's a very extreme example. Some of these players have extremely bad representation, and this representation is giving them very bad advice. And I think for LeVeon, over the last 4 years, including this latest comment about Andy Reid, of all people, is just the latest sign that he's got a bad team around him. Hell, none of his albums went platinum yet. So there is nothing that he's done that has said that this great talent has accomplished something oh so great. But I'm going to let you jump in, Jim, because we're going to go back and forth a couple of times.
Wait.
Here's my 2 cents. I'll just say it like this. And this is really, really sick. It's just really, really simple for me. I'm not going to kill the player for sitting out. In this situation, for over 400 touches in a season, being the engine that drove the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, that's my only point here. That's the point that I'm going to stick to. He deserved to be paid based on where he was, not based on the position, not based on anything else, because value is subject to the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and so is value. In this situation, he was more valuable to the Pittsburgh Steelers than he was to any other organization, because with Le'Veon Bell, he makes Antonio Brown expendable. And then what do we get? In the words of Moshe Schefter, we get a guy who we can move on from AB and we can continue to build our defense. And we're going to be able to do all the things that we're going to want to do moving forward as an organization, a franchise. And that is the key. I don't want to kill a player for asking for the value from this team that he was after. Now, I do see a comment here. Shouts out to everybody in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook. We're going to try to get to these at the end here in a second. But I see a comment that said he got more. He declined more, but he took less. He took less to go and play with the Jets, and he wanted more for playing with the Steelers. The Steelers is ultimately the team he wanted to play for, but he wanted them to value him at the rate that he felt he should have gotten for what he was doing for that organization and football team. Now, taking that after a year off, I'm gonna let you right in after this, Mo. After I get done with these 2 sentences, after that organization didn't pay him when it came down to it, it's this simple. Last thing, he said he was willing to sit out to put himself in a situation where he can go to another team. And there we have it. Chef.
To your last point, football is all about leverage, and Lev Bell had none of it. Honest truth. As for Pittsburgh, now everything you said about keeping him, moving on from AB, his value, all that is accurate. But a couple things in Pittsburgh's defense. Number one, he was not the first nor the last running back to get 400 plus touches, not even by a few. There's about 18, 19 people on that list. Some of them who've done it twice, like LaDainian Tomlinson. And that's number one. Number two, at the time, what Pittsburgh offered him was $6 million more per year than the next highest running back. So they didn't come in $1 million more, $2 million more, $6 million more per year. Now you're talking about running backs who probably 70% of them are making $6 million in as a whole. But he was getting $6 million more per year from the Steelers. That was their final offer to him than any other running back. That was at the time. Now, the Jets, the reason some people, and I'm sure his team, because again, bad representation, the reason they may have thought they got a better deal from the Jets was because the Jets was willing to pay him more money in the first few years than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh was only going to give him about $45 million of that deal throughout the over half of its lifetime. Which, again, to Tanya's point, if he wasn't so injured at times, and if he wasn't smoking weed on 19, with LeGarrette Blount so recklessly, it's not the weed part, it's the act, it's the recklessness, it's the lack of responsibility. Then maybe Pittsburgh would have given him a little more guarantee. And I'm not here to defend Pittsburgh because I think Pittsburgh should have done everything possible to keep that man in the building.
Agreed.
But I am here to say that at the very least, Pittsburgh made a solid effort. And I'm not going to kill LeVeon, but I am going to kill his representation. I am going to kill the people who was giving him advice. Because he has not only shortened his career, he has lost his value, and now he may not even have a job. And he probably cost himself, in all honesty, Germ, $65 million to earn in his career.
If you say that, only time will tell. That's all I'll say.
True.
I will say this. The one thing that he does have is he has the ability for him to at any point go to any organization based on injuries or anything else and prove that he's still the best in the business. And that's something that we have that he has an opportunity to do. With that said, at the time that he was doing this, we have to remember who was the highest paid running back. Dennis, at that time frame, we had Todd Gurley also on the horizon.
Right, sure.
So we have to understand that if LeVeon Bell feels he's more valuable to his team than Todd Gurley is to his team, who reset the running back market? Todd Gurley, not Devontae Freeman, old Jake Self.
Right. No, I mean, those three guys, Zeke, Gurley, and Bell, ultimately, like they've at the RB free agent market was going down.
Mm-hmm.
And those three just
what is the reason? And what is the reason for that? And let's talk about the reason for that real quick, so everybody knows. The reason why the running back value goes down is because guys like LeGarrette Blount have won multiple Super Bowl rings as guys in a rotation. We got a guy that comes in and does this. We have guys that have niches. So in business, it's the same thing as NFL. You can have a guy that comes in and has a niche. My niche is to get the tough yards in between the tackle. And that's what it comes down to. So with that being said, Vic, you had a question for everybody. So go ahead.
No. It was a couple rapid fire questions. If you want, when get ready to close it out and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I don't know if you had another subject.
We got one more thing here that we're going to discuss, in general. But with that being said, before we even go to the next part, Chef, jump back in because I know you had something you wanted to say.
Well, just the last important thing to keep in mind with Le'Veon Bell at this point is his age. The film. Okay, he wasn't his best, but he's far from done. He's still got plenty miles left in those Lexus, but he is still approaching that age of 30.
Well, I think he'll be a backup at this point if he gets signed.
Rotational. I ain't even gonna say backup. Right. Rotational.
The hardest part about this is, first thing is, I move with no reverence, as you say, Lester. Just remember that. That's why you want to allow me to come into your office anyway. So with that being said,
oh wow, is that shade?
Yeah, yes. But with that being said, it's just a me and Les thing. We just gotta go back and forth once a day. But with that being said, the understanding of this is this: it's okay to be in a situation where you don't have to take on all of the responsibility. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. In these situations, this is what I will say to LeVeon. Put your pride to the side and just get on the field and show that you still you.
He's not that kind of person for some reason. I don't know.
Hey, that's all I can say in that situation.
He's just
Both
not
thought
that
we
kind
was
of
gonna
person.
argue. I'm gonna stick
His
to
agent
my
is
point.
trash though too. Like his agent is trash. Like
I mean that's the most point that whoever's been guiding him hasn't been great help. You know what I'm saying? Like LeVeon looks like the kind of guy that he will make his own decisions, but he's obviously not getting help from his guys representing him.
Hey, you was talking about he was talking about Le'Veon, not me. Okay, my bad, Les. All right, but well, you get me later. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. But with that being said, though, so Mo, as you know, sorry to disappoint you on the lack of argument, but I'm gonna stick to my point like a good attorney does.
That's because y'all burned it. Y'all burned it pre-show. That's what it is. Y'all burned all the argument pre-show.
No, it's just certain things. Like I said, I can't argue certain things. So with that being said, we have a very, very interesting situation here. Now, I want to ask this question to you guys. There are a lot of offensive linemen still out on the free agent wire. A lot. I'm talking about veteran guys that have been quality. So with that being said, as we continue to go forward in progress, which teams are we looking at now currently that we are saying that, hey, we've got some great free agents on the board? What team do we say right now needs offensive line help today, immediately, right now? I'm gonna give you some names as
Pittsburgh.
As
I was waiting for one of them to say something. Pittsburgh is in great need.
Well, I'm pointing, Bo. You see me pointing.
I can't see. I can't really see. There's a player I saw is available, Germ, and I'm like, wait, he's available? Pittsburgh needs to jump on him. I'm trying to find out who it was.
I actually learned something new today, Mo, and y'all, that DeCastro was at minicamp, but he was in street clothes, and they try and say that he may have an injury that could potentially sit him out or potentially sit him out for a few weeks. I didn't even know that. So that's why we had a visit from oh my God, what's his name?
I got the name, Trey Turner.
Yes, him.
They gotta sign him.
But he's also injury prone too. So
listen, you gotta get him. Mike Iupati's available, Joe Looney's available, Austin Ritter is available. I mean, there's a lot of guys available that are still quality-ish type guys that you can grab. Russell Okung is available.
Let me say this as well. With all of the things that we talked about with the Chiefs, 3 of their starting offensive linemen from last year are all on the free agent market. They've completely revamped them. All of those guys can't be terrible. First of all, Mitchell Schwartz is not terrible.
No,
he's not terrible at all.
No, so it's no reason. It's no reason why somebody didn't call and say, "Yo, let's bring you in for a tree out or something." Like a tree out or something. Like, I'm serious. Like it's certain things that I don't understand. Pittsburgh needs to help, and Pittsburgh is trying to revamp their running game with their rookie draft pick Najee Harris.
Yeah.
So it is that time for you to take all the necessary steps in order for you to do that. But you know what the problem is? The problem is they're paying too much damn money to players that don't mean anything. I said it out loud. I don't care.
I mean, Pittsburgh is just in a tricky situation with cap, with money.
But I don't know who's watching because I can't see it. I'm on Zoom.
It's a rookie mistake, Tanya. Lucky you said nothing wrong.
Yeah, I'm glad. I gotta teach these folks everything. Oh God.
No, but I mean, listen, I think as far as offensive line help goes, there isn't really too many teams that have a perfect offensive line. But out of all these teams, Jacksonville to protect that young quarterback, Houston can still use some guys.
You see me, everybody that's on free agency is offensive line because their offensive line is invisible.
Right.
People come straight through there. Like,
excuse me. You said they're what?
They're invisible.
Okay. All right. That's heel activity right there, ladies.
Wait,
and
who's
gentlemen.
offensive line?
He said Houston's offensive line is invisible.
Listen, there's no one there.
Their whole team is invisible.
That
Hey.
part.
Hey, listen.
From management on down.
Listen,
I just want to say
you might have a situation, Jaquan, that like people rather sit at home than to play for them.
Oh,
So
I mean, wouldn't you rather sit at home than play for you?
man, I mean, me right now, personally, I'll get paid to play for whoever. But you know, if I had a career before, I would pass.
I was gonna say, Big, that's not the point. You messing up the point, man.
No, I feel you. I would pass. I would pass if I was,
Vic could be
somebody's guy
right now.
so. With that being said, another couple of guys that I want to point out here that are very important. We got some very, very good pass rushers that are out here. We got Melvin Ingram. We got Justin Houston, all available right now. Yes. There is no excuse for guys like this to be at this stage of their career where they can do all of the things that they need to do. And in order for them to do the basics, they can be situational guys. They don't even have to play every down. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I just want to say this now. If you're a team and you're in search of a pass rusher, you have no excuse. I don't even need to say no teams' names because it's about 3 of them that came to mind.
I know one.
I know. I mean, we all know one.
Are we talking about they don't get a contract before the season starts? That's what team we talking about.
I don't know which team.
That running back that they think gonna make the Super Bowl with, but they ain't gonna never make it. But anyway,
since we on this, and if anybody in the comments would like to jump on the Zoom, let us know.
Oh God!
But we're gonna open this conversation up as we had it last night amongst.
That's not fair, Mo. You should let a Ravens fan come in here and speak to them because you got 2 Steelers fans in here, and you know Jerm hate Lamar Jackson so bad.
Well, first of all,
wait, whoa! I don't hate him.
Like that. Yeah.
I just don't think he's that.
Jerm, you hate him. It's okay. I understand.
It is
fans
okay.
Make you hate him.
Here's the question: If
and it said he's here, so hold on. Let me
let him come in. If
who coming in? Ain't nobody but Dennis because the other one ain't showing up.
We know that.
Show up.
He needs Dion. You gotta show up, Dion. If Lamar Jackson hits free agency, how many teams will be interested in him?
None of them.
Lies. Tanya.
I'm gonna say about maybe 4 or 5 teams.
Okay. Vic.
We talked about one team, dog. One team. We'll take one team besides the one that he's on already.
Jerm.
Who?
I said no more than 2.
I say, as we stand right now, if we look a year ahead, there are at least 6 to 7 teams that will be bidding high for Lamar Jackson. And I do mean bidding high. Philly.
Did you name them, please? Okay,
would be one of them. I can't remember all the teams I named. Oh, Washington FC would be one of them. Denver would be one of them. Miami would be a possible one of them. I lost track. And AFC West.
I don't think you. Yeah, I don't think you named Miami and those.
I said Miami. I'm saying it now. Don't worry about what I said there. I'm saying it now. I wish I could remember.
What?
Detroit is another one. Detroit is another possibility.
With Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback than Jared Goff.
Again,
absolutely not.
I'm not giving you my opinion.
Let me shut up. Whatever.
I am simply giving you my perspective.
Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl.
What I know the NFL is.
That's true.
A 24-year-old former MVP, regardless of my opinion or yours, nothing I just said is factually incorrect. a guy who a team could think, hey, the blueprint is out on how to be successful with this player. Can we replicate this blueprint? There are 7 teams who will bid highly for Lamar Jackson if he hits free agency. But
Well,
he's
can I ask
never
the
gonna happen.
question?
Technically, it's factually incorrect until it happens. But anyway, I'll let Jaquan go ahead.
I have a question. So when you say successfully, because I thought when you successfully do something, you had to make it to the Super Bowl. They can't get past the second round in the playoffs. So, what do you mean by successfully? Because
Winning
he's not
games.
successfully.
Winning
Thanks to the
games, making
thanks
the
to the
playoffs.
defense.
Winning games, making the playoffs, making plays. The defense, sure, he was still making plays. Offensive line, absolutely. First of all, why am I in Lamar Jackson? Y'all making me defend Lamar Jackson.
Ain't nobody making you do nothing.
It is getting.
Hey, nobody is making you do anything.
Where
you
is
have free
Dion?
will.
But see, Mo, listen, because
you know Dion the age he sleeps. Stop that.
I call him.
Making plays, the only play he made in that second round was a 101-yard pick six. So he's really not making plays.
Stop that, Tanya. They made it
Dennis,
to the
I didn't
second round. They
invite
made
you
it
to
farther
get
than the
this
Steelers.
type of energy. I'm sorry, Dennis. They won games. They made the playoffs. He made plays. He made enough plays that he won the MVP. He is 24
Allegedly.
years old, a freakish athlete. There isn't a person on this screen or in this world who will deny his athletic ability. And all I'm saying is there is a blueprint on how to win football games on Sunday with this quarterback.
What's the
There's
blueprint?
also a blueprint to stop him, though.
100%.
To definitely shut him down.
As long as they don't got to play us, because he's horrible when they play us. So as long as the team ain't playing us.
So we are the blueprint. The Bills showed the blueprint. The Chiefs definitely showed the blueprint.
Dennis, you're muted.
They wild him out every chance they get.
Hello, y'all got me now?
Yes, sir.
Hey. So basically,
right.
basically what Dennis was doing there by talking on mute, that's kind of how his quarterback comes up in the playoff games on mute.
Oh,
so go ahead.
Wow.
Man. This is my thing with Lamar. And Mo made some good points because they basically built the guy who gets blamed for the demise of Lamar is the one that came up with a scheme that fit him to play so perfect. Come on, man. Let's be real. I mean, I like the kid. I really do. I don't hate him. I want him to succeed, but it's like it's only so far you can go with him because once you take the running game away from him and the play action ain't working, when he actually had to sit in the back there and read the field, that's when you can see this guy's out of his league. The numbers just go down because everything just go down. Everything. You got to ask
Not only that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish that.
We also see that, okay, now the salary cap is starting to play a part now. We're starting to lose some of the talent that we had. The line getting beat up now. And you remember this now, Lamar is asking for like 40 plus million. That's what I'm hearing. He's asking for 40 million. We don't want no cut.
No cuts.
So
discounts.
So now we done lost our best pass rushers. As good as you call them good or not, we just lost our best pass rushers. We got like $5 million in cap right now, maybe $6 million. So his contract for the $25 million we kicking in next year, and then we also got to pay Andrew, and we also got to pay a couple more people. Our defense is paid. All our money is invested in secondary and old people like Calais Campbell. He's making $15-16 million. Also, Big Brandon Williams, 40 plays, Jeremy, about 25 plays a game, maybe? Okay. So, what I'm saying, everybody keeps saying Lamar needs all this help, Lamar needs all this talent. If we don't have money now, and then we're going to pay him $40 million, how are we going to get some more talent? That's my thing. And if I'm one of them people, if I'm going to invest $40 million in a quarterback, he better be able to read a defense and make every throw. We saw a video. I sent it to Mo. I mean, I don't know if I sent it to you, Mo, but I know I sent it to Vic. I sent it to Tanya, and it was how everybody was killing Miles Boykin and how Baltimore need a number one receiver. We just watched Miles. He was just just open. But then while we watching the video, if you look at it, Lamar is only reading one side of the field. He's not reading. Oh my God.
That's part of the game plan because they know that that's his limitation. But another report.
But see, I'm glad you said that. But the media says it's our limited playbook. No, it's our limited quarterback.
Yes.
Listen, we've seen great quarterbacks make mediocre players rise. How do you know drafting all these receivers? When I remember when Joe Flacco was there, we never drafted receivers.
Now they are.
We never drafted offense. They're invested in this kid, and they come up with every excuse. Okay, you brought up the MVP year, right? The 34 touchdowns, whatever it was good. Hey, I was shocked. He threw 34 touchdowns. If that would have been this year, that would have been like 36. I'm sorry. If that had been this year, that would have been ninth most in the league.
I mean, the schedule that year, y'all, the defenses y'all played that year wasn't up to par.
Well, but we had a great year. We had no major injuries. I mean, everything just clicked.
Then, the division was kind of not that good that year. So
no, it wasn't. Ben was out. Y'all had y'all fourth string quarterback. Cleveland.
The Browns
finding themselves.
Right. And the Bengals still don't have offensive line, but okay. So yeah.
Did he win MVP that year?
Well,
yeah.
put this
Wait a minute.
Let me this.
Cam Newton won MVP.
We gonna argue now. Okay,
all right. So listen. Let's argue.
Me and you gonna argue now. Gonna argue now. Bro, you know who votes for this award? This is the high school. Who's my favorite? What do they call it?
Prom queen.
Prom queen or something. It's
not prom queen.
Aaron Rodgers won it this year. Come on, bro.
Okay.
Russell Wilson has never gotten.
I wrote them
Russell
down.
Wilson has never got a vote.
And this is your fault, Vic. I wrote it down. I thought about it. There are 12 teams who would line up to sign Lamar Jackson if he hit free agency.
Here we go.
Bro, this is not from I will put a disclaimer, folks. This is not from a libistic point of view. This is not from a libistic point of view. Go ahead, Mo.
Okay.
I'll let you
this
go.
Is not from an on-field libistically perspective. I'll give you that. That's fair. I have never once talked about how great he is on the field, and that's why the market will be what it is. Again, I'm not giving you my opinion on this, Vic. This is the NFL.
The business. You coming from the business standpoint.
Let me tell you
what? And he's right. He will. Somebody gonna pick him up. Hell,
bro, there's 12. I wrote 12 down.
People got drafted.
Let him get it out. Let him get it out.
Go ahead. Yeah, I want to hear this 12.
Oh, you want to hear this 12?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Don't worry about it. You know the number 12 is a magical
that's your favorite number.
Somehow, some way. What you want me to do? I'm synchronized with goatness. Okay, that's just the way it goes. Anyways, shout out to Goat Curry, which is probably the goat of goats. Anyways, 12 teams, right? Vic, let's put you on a seat. Let's say you sitting in this skybox in the city of Detroit, making millions and millions of dollars. Now, granted, it's Detroit, and ain't much to be happy about if you living in Detroit, but that's life.
Mm-hmm.
But at the least, you making some good money. You are in a dream job. You are one of 32 open positions in the world. You have that title. And you looking, and you got the salary cap to do it. You got enough things to move around, draft assets coming up, the whole nine, where you can say, I could get this quarterback. I could put some butts in this seat. I could get some excitement. I could get some TV attention. I could get some fantasy attention. All these things come with this quarterback. Okay, how do I win with him? Well, I got to make sure I have a very strong offensive line and about 2 or 3 running backs who are ready to go every Sunday. Not the hardest thing to do, the running backs part, the offensive line, much more of a challenge. What's my next step? Well, I got to make sure I have a defense that has certain strengths. Because remember, in this NFL, you don't got to be dominant no more to be a good defense. You just got to make sure you hold your own.
Make plays.
And make plays. Don't give up too many touchdowns. Make plays when they matter most. What does Jeremy always say?
Listen.
Opportunistic defenses. Okay?
Listen here, Mo.
That is evidence presented from the plaintiffs. That I am
basically.
I ain't introducing no new evidence.
You left out tight end because that's the only person he can throw the ball to.
We get in there, Dennis. We get in there, Dennis.
I'm sorry.
So basically,
well, when he double team, he throw pick.
I'm sorry.
So remember that.
So basically, Mo, you putting me in position to get fired in 3 years, but that's okay. It's 3 years. I can make a lot of money. I got you.
You're not gonna get fired for signing Lamar Jackson.
I'm not gonna get fired for it.
You'll get fired for drafting Sam Darnold if you're the Jets.
Okay, that's fair.
But you're not gonna get fired for signing Lamar. Right. You'll get, and this is just as an example. This is just as an example. I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't think of one. Okay, perfect one. No, I can't think of one. But the point is you will get fired for drafting the wrong quarterback in the first round. You will not get fired for signing the wrong quarterback. Never.
So the next obstacle, the next hurdle I would have to get to is signing a coaching staff that is willing to now coach up this offense, willing to coach up this quarterback and draw a playbook, a game plan. I have to change so much from a structural standpoint offensively to make sure that this works. Yes, you're looking at it from a business standpoint. I got you. He will sell tickets. He is going to sell tickets because the average fan is going to want to look at what he can do. I get that part. But now, is there a coaching staff that is willing to risk their careers long term?
Oh, hell yeah. Brother, this is the National Football League. You telling me you can't find a coaching staff willing to have a coaching job in the NFL because of a certain player? No way.
Let the congregation. Can I get the congregation?
Hey, Jeremy, as you speak, Jeremy, I got one good point. I just want to
go. Well, no, get your good point out because I'm not pastor, Jeremy. Okay. I'm pastor, Jeremy.
After this year, you'll probably lead the team in rushing again. Rushing attempt. There's gonna be a lot of miles on them legs, man. This year coming to you.
That's another thing. That's another thing. Yeah, I've discussed with Mo. It's gonna come up to a point where those legs are not gonna move as fast. Yep.
If he loses that athleticism,
what he got?
Where is the value in him?
Cam Newton.
You asking me? That's a rhetorical question, brother. That's a rhetorical question. Again, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. I am focused on a very particular angle.
Business.
I get what you're saying. Business. You talking from the business. I guess.
Jeremy talking about all this pastor stuff. I'm Muslim. I'm looking for a prophet. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Today we taking you to church because we're gonna cleanse you of all this Lamar Jackson. Now, may the congregation please say amen.
Amen.
So first and foremost, as I step to my pulpit to get ready to deliver this message to the masses, to the nation, and to the peace. Yes, we need to make sure that we first reflect that God is good all the time. Okay,
God is good.
All right. Now, I will tell you that we need to thank the Lord for Lamar being able to run very fast. We need to thank him for that because that is a very, very important part of his game in this NFL and in this offense and period, part of him being a quarterback in the National Football League. Can I at least get an amen from the congregation?
Amen.
Amen. Shit,
All
send
right.
him on a Hyundai.
You gonna get a I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, get it. I mean, just a hey, listen, just a simple head nod works for you, brother. I'll accommodate you, my brother.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Salaikum salam. So with that being said, with that being said, Minister Farrakhan Jern Pastor. So with that being said, I understand why Mo you are defending him. I do. I completely understand. But what I want everybody to understand is two things. There are two key things that Lamar Jackson needs in order for him to be successful. And this is another part of this that we have not factored in. If I bring a quarterback into my organization at a stage that he's a free agent, I believe that he is one of the final pieces to put me over the top. I'm not bringing a guy in just to say I'm going to experiment with what he has or what he has to offer. I'm bringing a guy in because I feel like he is the cherry on top. He is the guy that will get me to the proverbial promised land. Can I get a hallelujah, amen from the congregation?
I get on.
Oh man.
So
can we please stop with all of the different stuff that we're trying to put just to fit him in to a scenario where he goes to another team? We have to understand that if you're a team developing in the situation, why did we push for Dak to potentially leave the Cowboys? Because we felt like he could have been the icing on the cake for a couple of these other rosters, as they still had the draft capital and the free agent capital, which is money, for them to be able to go and make some things happen. Lamar, you have to build a team. You have to build an organization that is going to make everything look the same so that he is able to, in turn, do the things that he is good and gifted at. That's number one. Number two is very simple. The things that he struggles with is the things that 9 out of 10 quarterbacks in the NFL struggle with. And that is throwing outside the numbers and being accurate. So that is why there is only 5 to 7 quarterbacks realistically that will probably win a Super Bowl 9 out of 10 times, unless they have the right team around them. So with that being said, are we saying that there is a team or there is a structure that can be put around this limited quarterback that will get him to the proverbial promised land? If the answer to that question is absolutely yes, then you have to find that scenario. But the only thing that we know is if we get a mobile quarterback with this type of speed, with these attributes, the only thing that we know that works in the NFL right now at this particular moment is that Greg Roman needs to be the offensive coordinator. They need to have a coach that is going to be friendly and make the system and the team on offense strong in the trenches to allow this quarterback to do the things that he has to do. And they're going to put a lot of speed on the field to create high-low concepts and a lot of mismatches with when teams play zone. Because that ultimately is what is the things that are being done on the field. There is no more making this feel as if this is going to be about Lamar Jackson. It's going to be about the rest of the team. The quarterback can't win the game if the receivers don't catch the ball. But the quarterback also can't win the game if he's not getting protection. The quarterback also can't win the game if the defense doesn't do its job. It is the ultimate team game. What team do we need? Baltimore notoriously is known for defense. If that defense continues to get worse, Mo, that put more stress and strain on the offense. And if Lamar does not improve his skill set, that hurts them again. So all of that stuff lumped into there, which was a 2-3 minute session of just unfiltered truth. That's all that this is at this stage. I don't care if he goes to another team, but is he the cherry on top for any of these 12 teams? The answer is no, because none of them have the structure the Ravens have. And that's John Harbaugh. And let me just say this, and then I'm going to pass it because I don't want to hog it. John Harbaugh is a top 5 coach in the National Football League because he adapts as one of the best to his players and his personnel. That is the reason why he has won a Super Bowl. And that is the reason why people like Ron Rivera have not won a Super Bowl. That is the reason why some of these other coaches that we are anointing and saying are good coaches are not very good coaches, because it's a reason why Belichick is always in a position to win a game. It's a reason why 12 went to Tampa Bay and won in year one.
Yeah, I got some things I'm gonna add, but I'm gonna let some other people jump in, and then we'll close it out. Anybody want to say anything?
And let the church say amen.
Lamar been blessed to have a top 5 defense since he's been in the league. So,
Right.
that don't last too long.
That part.
I think on the one hand, Jeremy, you said 9 out of 10 quarterbacks who can't throw outside the pocket. That only strengthens the argument.
Outside the numbers. Outside the numbers.
Sorry, outside the numbers. That only strengthens the argument that there's a larger pool of guys who have similar limitations. So he is not this uniquely limited guy. Even though I disagree, I disagree with what I just said. But you know what I'm trying to get at here. If you're saying 9 out of 10 quarterbacks have those same limitations, then
yeah, but no, he's got more limitations than that, though,
bro. Sure. Like I said, I'm trying to stay away.
Anticipation,
scouting, because the on-field scouting, Vic, gives me no leg to stand on.
It don't at all.
It don't. And that's just being real. And that's why when Jerm was talking, Jerm went to the field. I agree with him on the field thing. Now you can make the argument, okay, Denver, when they signed Peyton, they had to add some pieces. DeMarcus Ware, TJ Ward, Aqib Talib, Wes Welker.
It was those four, but those are the 4 key pieces. They did pass rusher,
right?
They did, but
the
majority of their money was in the 3 of the 4 key positions to guarantee it.
Not only that, the difference was it was players. Whereas if you're building around Lamar, you got to look at how much you're going to spend by position group rather than by individual player. So don't get me wrong. There's a whole lot that comes with it. But I still, just from everything, from the business angle of it, from the age of it, from the athleticism side, and from the fact that an actual blueprint exists. Greg Roman, fine coach. He's not some revolutionary, beautiful mind. He's not the only coach to put together an offense specific to a quarterback strength. That's every college coach in the entire world.
That's not the point. You're trying to stretch the point.
No,
the point is this quarterback, this style of play. I specifically said this style of play. That means when they do this more than they do this. That means that. So the quarterbacks that are not very good at reading and processing information in front of them, we have Colin Kaepernick that is a part of this. Colin Kaepernick is the last quarterback from this mold that has went to the Super Bowl.
I got one question.
And his coordinator was Greg Roman.
Are you confident, or do you believe? I better get the right answer because there is a right answer. Do you believe Eric Bieniemy can build an offense catered to Lamar Jackson's strength as good or better than Greg Roman?
No.
I 100% believe he could. Do you think Josh McDaniels could build an offense as good or better for Lamar Jackson than as Greg Roman?
Yeah, but he wouldn't. See, but he
no.
Sean Payton, Andy Reid. You know who?
Hold on.
Jason Mother Garrett.
Okay. All right. So with that being said,
don't put Greg Roman on a pedestal now. It's not Greg Roman Alaya.
No, that's not the point. No, I ain't tripping out.
But listen, this is what happens when you argue semantics. He's got his narrative that he's trying to drive home, and he's very good at doing what he's going to do. He's going to try to drive his point.
Oh yeah.
But he can never get me off of my game because I'm just not going to be emotional about it because I'm going to stick to the script. And the point is, we said this blueprint of what it takes to win with a mobile quarterback, and we have gotten the blueprint of what it takes to get that proverbial quarterback to the Super Bowl. Eric Bieniemy, as good as an offensive mind that he is, what style does this specific team he is coaching, what offense do they run? What concepts are they running? They're running concepts that Lamar does not run very well.
Yes. But there is still a fundamental principle of first read boom.
Hallelujah.
I may look like the crazy one, but I can back up every single thing that I said.
No, I get what you're saying. My thing is this. Like, okay, we're talking. I want to make sure I ask this question right. Okay, we're talking about like the success he's had with us, right? And now let's say Baltimore don't re-sign him hypothetically, and now that means he's going to a new team. So the team that he had success with, when they had that success with him, it was during that 5-year window when the quarterback sounded small. If he signs a big deal, he can take up to what? Anywhere from 15 to 18% of the salary cap?
20.
20. You think you're going to have that same success?
By the way, he was the 32nd pick in the draft. So his salary didn't go up until this year.
Right.
So on average, he was making $3 million a year.
Right. Hey, we can go all night with this. Let's toss it back to Jerm. Go around the horn close.
So with that being said, Vic, rapid fire questions, and then we're gonna
real quick. Corey Davis had a career year, believe it or not. So back to that story. 65 receptions, 984 yards, 5 touchdowns. Go around the horn. How many more do you think Julio can provide for that football team from those numbers?
Read those numbers again, Vic.
So we got Corey Davis, career high, actually a career tie, 65 receptions, but a career high, 984 yards, and a career high in 5 touchdowns.
So Vic, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I wrote down like an over-under on Julio's stat line. My over-under for receptions was 67. My over-under for yards was 1,100. My over-under for touchdowns was 5. And that is the 1,100 and the 5 is probably the cap. The 67 maybe on the lower side. He might end up with like 72, 73.
Right.
But I don't like again.
The difference is just how it's not even. I can't see it being any bigger. I can't see it being a 90, 1,500 type of year, right? I mean, you guys would agree with that.
Absolutely, I agree.
No,
so,
they run the ball so much, man. They ball team.
Yeah, don't complain now. Don't talk about you don't like seeing the ball being ran so much, Dennis.
No, bro, I see it every Sunday. Bro, my quarterback has
throwing stones in the glass house right now, brother.
My quarterback leads the team in rushing attempt. We drafted running backs in the second round.
I mean,
let it out, Dennis.
They got like 5.
And people wonder why I'm mad about the J.K. Dobbins. If we're gonna pick a running back in the second round, I want to see him run the ball.
Yeah.
My quarterback should not rushing attempts. We got 3 running backs, and he run the ball more than my running back.
Hey, your quarterback should never lead your team in rushing. Like that should never be a thing.
And just one more thing, your quarterback should never be your best athlete either.
That part, that it should never be a thing.
I need to stop this. I'm on a roll today.
What you got, Vic?
I mean, the other one was just going to be LeVeon Bell. Does he sign or not this season with somebody? I think he does. I think by week 4 or 5, he's going to be on a football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think eventually he'll get a job somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, he could definitely go to a contender, man. That needs
Ravens, maybe.
For what? They got 12 of them already.
What for?
Raiders, Saints, Steelers. I still think he needs to go back to the Steelers.
Yeah, how about this? How about this, Mo? With us knowing what we know about Zach Wilson, and of course it has to translate to the NFL level, will Corey Davis have better statistical numbers than Julio Jones by the end of the year?
Where did he go? I forgot.
Maybe because he's like the only
He just said
option.
the Jets.
The Jets.
Oh, I ain't heard him.
Like maybe he's probably the only option, but I'm not expecting much from the Jets this year as it is.
No, okay. I got.
Well, the Jets bad, man. Hey, woo. You talking about booty? They slow. Like our boy Ham says.
Here's a quick question before we go. More likely to start week 1, Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Mac Jones.
No.
Hashtag free Deshaun.
Yes.
See, I've been on here this whole time, and I didn't say free Deshaun, but I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm supporting my boy.
You got to throw it in there once a show at
I have
least.
to.
Yeah,
I have
for sure. For sure.
Give
they
me
need to free him. Yeah.
Give me bootleg. Give me bootleg. And you see, I said it. Bootleg. Give me him to start it. With that being said, this has been a jam-packed show.
Yes,
It's
it
been
has.
crazy.
Yes, it has.
Y'all even got introduced to Pastor Germ today, and not Pastor, Pastor. So it's been a great show here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 94 views crossover, not to get to the jump shot, but to get to the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we got views from the 22. Make sure you join the damn Facebook group. We got football topics that we're going to be striking up coming up here. Make sure you guys be on the lookout, man. We're going to be dropping a lot of stuff for all 32 teams. 32 teams covered before the first game of the season. We got that coming for you guys. We got some film coming too. We might be back next week. You never know. This is getting ready to be that season. So, final thoughts as we wrap up the show here. Any final thoughts, Mr. King?
Man, y'all just depressed me, man. I shouldn't.
Oh,
I was feeling good about myself. Got talking about the Rays.
I mean, hey, look at the worst case scenario.
Bro, don't you know? This is my last point. I promise I'm gonna shut up. Lamar had a couple bad days in practice, and they stopped no more recording him pass to the receivers.
That's and that was another report real quick. Apparently they're gonna try him under center a little bit more. Under center plays for Lamar. That's gonna be so great to watch.
Remember my words, it's gonna be a disaster.
His footwork really about to go out the door. He was bad.
If he's going under center, there better be some play action and bootleg.
Yeah, but that's because defense is gonna know that's coming though. So apparently they're going to have pass plays from under center. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Minka gonna have a great season.
Everybody's saying that we gonna have a good passing game this year because Bateman's supposed to be that dude, and the new receiver coach we got.
Didn't they say that last year when they got Marquise Brown?
I know they've been saying it. They've been saying it every year. Me and Jerv said it. Who we gonna play?
So with that being said, so to the Steelers contingency, I feel like we just missing Storms because Vic is a part of the Cleveland contingency. If we're missing Storms, we got the whole AFC North on here. With that being said, Jaquan, final thoughts this evening.
I don't have no final thoughts this evening. Nothing to say. It's my birthday week. That's all I gotta say.
Happy birthday!
Oh, shouts out to you.
I'm turning 21 Friday.
All right.
You're a line of fly. You got SH in your eye.
But I didn't ask y'all nothing though. Thank you for the birthday shout out, Mo. I didn't ask you nothing though. I'll be 21 Friday.
Hey, it's a good thing Vic doesn't know, or else he'd rat you out.
I know.
I know he got his sister talking like that.
She ain't gonna say nothing though because she got my bag.
See, so with that being said, Tanya, any final thoughts?
No, not really. No, not this time. Free Deshaun.
Dwayne Haskins.
What you say, Dennis?
Dwayne Haskins, baby.
What about it?
Yeah.
Hey,
he's gonna be starting by week 5.
And I bet you.
He's gonna be starting by week 5.
I bet you if he is, he have a better season than Lamar.
Hold on, wait. Are we betting that or something? Are you trying to make some bets?
No, I'm saying this in a good way.
Here on the scene, we do not promote gambling of any sort.
Save it for after the show.
We're not doing money. No, we're not doing money.
Yeah.
Every Ravens fan that ever bet me paid me. Ask Dion.
Well, I mean, he lost twice in the playoffs and in the college playoffs. So I mean, but go ahead. Who next for the thing?
Vic, closing thoughts this evening, sir.
just have fun. That was all, man. Just have fun. Shout out to everybody. Free Deshaun.
Chef, any final thoughts there, my guy?
I've given my all. Make sure you subscribe to the scene. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, the.scene, Twitter, scene_the. Website launch plus relaunch coming soon. The Scene website is launching. The Views website is getting a total and complete makeover. So be on the lookout for that. We got more merch coming. We got some ideas brewing. Just be on the lookout. Keep rocking with us. And we're going to get you through this sports summer. Of course, 94 Feet of Life will have you covered from across all 94 feet until the final tip-off of hopefully Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So make sure you locked in to the Scene on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
All right. Views from the 22 as well. Let's just plug the originals for the views from the 22 as well. We got views _the _22 on Instagram, and then views 22 on Twitter. And Facebook group views from the 22. Make sure you guys are there. So with that being said, this has been the 94 Views crossover show. We thank everybody for tuning in. We will see you guys tomorrow. Stoppage Time FC will be coming through.
Yes.
Without further ado, 22. See y'all next time.